Hi, guys. Welcome to today's episode. Thank you so much for everybody that has tuned in so far, that has watched the episodes. I'm really, really thankful for you guys supporting me in my journey and just sticking along and watching through the whole episode. I really appreciate your guys' support. Don't forget to go and follow the Instagram. It's the at Survive Heartbreak. And then we have the YouTube channel, which is How to Survive Heartbreak. So make sure you guys follow both. A special thanks to our episode sponsor. Traditions is an American owned company that specializes in the hand sewing and leather work, authentic falconry gloves, bags, and lures for an unbeatable price compared to other companies. Tradition Gloves has been hand sewn gloves for over 5 decades and has stayed true with the promise of top tier craftsmanship, customer service, and custom orders. So, whether you are an expert falconer, want to get into falconry, or just want a cutesy outdoor bag for nature walks and hikes, Traditions has something for you. For more info, please visit their website, traditiongloves.com, or their Facebook at Tradition Gloves. So today's guest is someone that I deeply respect, and I not just for what he does, but for who he is as a person. It's something that I've always loved about Nick is that he is just a very authentic person. He is very honest without restraint. He's not afraid to speak the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. And he has a powerful way of holding people accountable, not out of a place of judgment, but out of love and clarity. Whether it's in his personal life or at work, he leads with integrity and isn't afraid to have those hard conversations. I couldn't think of a better person to join me for this episode. Nick, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Emily. I'm very honored that you asked me to be a part of this episode, and I'm very excited because this is something that's going to be so big, and I'm very honored to be just one stepping stone in this big journey of yours.
100%. Thank you for joining me.
No
And
problem.
I'm so excited to have your energy here and our favorite little drinky drinks.
Yes,
Should we do a little
very
clink
good.
and sippy sip? Yum.
That was so yummy.
Okay. Today's episode is about integrity and accountability. And like I mentioned in Nick's intro, um, he is the perfect person for this. I want to start bringing in just not only my personal friends, but normal everyday people, because some of the principles and the values that we're going to be talking about are things that are difficult to incorporate into your life. And so I want to make sure that we have people who are, I don't want to say normal because Nick is not a normal person. He is extraordinary and amazing. But I want to.
As are you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. But a person who has applied these principles in everyday life. So that leads me into my first question, Nick. What is integrity to you?
Well, I feel like we can go back to elementary school with this, to be honest. I feel like integrity is doing the right thing without being asked to and when nobody's watching.
Okay.
Integrity needs to be in everyday life and just about everything. I feel it's such a strong personality trait and just character to have.
So, like, what does it mean to you? What is it like? Like, if you were describing integrity to a 3-year-old, what would that be?
So it's actually very funny. Growing up with my mom, she would talk to me about integrity. So I felt like it was very instilled in me in a very young age.
Okay.
If I was explaining it to a 3-year-old, I would have to tell them, do the right thing when I'm not here. Do the right thing when your mommy and daddy aren't here, because that is the most important thing. Because you don't need to be doing anything right for anybody else. That's important, but you need to be doing right for yourself. You need to be honest with yourself.
100%. I love that. It's like the whole like infamous quote of who are you when no one's watching, right?
Right.
Because at the end of the day, we all put on like almost like a persona in front of other people.
Right.
But
We all have that little bit of a filter here and there.
yeah, for sure. And I think that at the end of the day, what really matters is who you are when nobody else is in the room, like what you do when you're alone, right? I love that. I love that so much. So, what does it matter? Why is it so important to be like a person with integrity in 2025?
I feel like it's such an important characteristic trait to have integrity in 2025 because it is so normalized to just not be very integral these days. I mean, you have songs and social media, it just really pushes this outlook of being manipulative, being nasty to people, it's I'm going to get them back. I'm going to be revengeful.
Petty.
And
Yeah.
exactly, petty. The Mean Girls culture is thriving in 2025.
For
But I
sure.
feel like it's so important to be integral because it stands out amongst all these Regina Georges that to be that big stomp on the ground, to be that somebody needs is such an important trait that 2025, it's just rare. So be rare.
Be rare. Every time Nick says something that I'm like, mic drop, I'm gonna start doing a little snaps, snaps. That is so true because it's just so normalized. Like I guess there's a lot of good that has come with like TikTok and Instagram and like social media in general because it's made us all feel like interconnected. But I think that can sometimes be like interconnected to a fault. And what do I mean by that? It's like sometimes it normalizes like bad behavior, and like you said yourself,
100%.
sometimes like being a person that is dishonest is like if you were in a room of people that were super honest, like it would stand out automatically. You could tell, hey, that person's not doing the right thing. If you're in a room where everybody else is super honest and you're the only one that's dishonest, you'll stand out like a sore thumb, right? But if you're around all these other people that are dishonest as well, it's like, oh, what I'm doing is not that bad. It's like very normal. You know what I mean?
Right. It's that instilled nature of being around other people, surrounding yourself with the right people.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, sometimes we can't control that. Being on social media, you can make the most wholesome, happy page in the world, but yet you're still going to encounter stuff on your feed that you don't want there. I mean, every day I go down my feed and I see something I don't want there.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But but that's also having that integrity there is moving on from it and not getting swallowed up in it and changing your personality to fit the narrative of what's on social media.
But that's so important because, like, this is such a good question to ask you actually at this moment. Like, what do you think like is the difference between the people who like commit to themselves on like this is who I am, and even if I scroll past my For You page and I see something that doesn't align with who I am as a person, like what's the difference between those people versus the ones that get swayed by people constantly?
Those people, you can simply not have a good, trusting, strong foundational relationship with them because you just don't know what they're going to do. One day they could be supporting you and the next day they're your biggest hater. And I call those people like watery fans.
They're so scary.
That lukewarm, it's either, I say this to people all the time. I respect you if you hate me and I respect you if you love me. I don't respect you if you're in between because I need to know 100% if you're against me or with me, because I can respect you if you don't like me. I don't like people. There's people I don't like. There's people I know that don't like me. But the most important thing is being authentic to yourself, like what you said. People that confirm to their personality, people that confirm and stay hard to true to themselves,
Recommit.
or people that just, today I woke up and I saw that this person posted this online, so I don't no longer like person such and such because that person said so.
Yeah.
And those are the people that it's just really immature. So
you think it's immaturity? That's the difference?
I think it's immaturity, and I think it's just personal growth that they're scared. They just need to fit in. They're followers.
They don't know who they are, basically, what you're saying.
100%.
Oh,
they don't have a personality.
Okay, so like if you are a person who you're on this journey of like trying to figure out who you are, and like I know you, like you in your personal life, like I know you have had that challenge of like identity and like trying to figure out who you are as a person, right? So like if you're on that journey and you're trying to figure out who you are, how can you like stay a person, how can you stay being a person full of integrity when you're still trying to navigate this like who am I like person?
Right. And I feel like how you can truly stay authentic to yourself is just understanding that it's for your benefit, most first and foremost. You have to understand that although that there are people that you should be integral for, you have to stay true to yourself because, again, like right now, you need to change for right now. You cannot wait for the future to happen because you cannot deep root yourself into these bad habits of lying and not holding yourself to a higher standard. You need to keep yourself at a standard because that always helps you set goals and stuff. So it's just always personal innovation within your soul and mind, that to stay that authentic, to be integral is just that. You need to be that. It's for you.
It's for you. Yeah.
It's for you because being deceitful and lying and not integral, you build insecurities in yourself, not just in other people, but in yourself too. So
100%. And like I love what you just said, like staying true to yourself and being integral to yourself.
right.
Because I think that as you navigate, like we don't have all the answers, you know, we're still living life. We're still trying to like discover who we are. Even me. Um one time I asked my mom this. I think I was like, "Mom, when did you like 100% figure out who you are as a person?" And she was like, I haven't. I still am trying to like, oh, technical difficulties. She's like, I'm still trying to figure out who I am as a person. And I was like, what? That's crazy. Because, like, in my head, I thought, like, oh, every adult that I see walking around has it all together and
Right.
they know exactly who they are, you know?
Right.
But I think it's a journey. And I think it's kind of like,
It's a never-ending journey, might I add.
yeah,
It's a
exactly
never-ending journey.
never ending journey. It's kind of like you're just holding like a little basket, and as you're walking around life, you're kind of just like taking nuggets of things that resonate with your soul that you know to be true, and it's like, okay, this is true, this is good, I'm going to put it in my basket. And then you try something, you're like, you know what, that's not, I don't know how I feel
Mm,
about that.
I'm gonna put that back on the shelf. I don't want to buy that.
I'm going to put
Yeah.
that back on the
Yeah.
shelf. That's not something that's in my basket.
Oof, that's not within my soul budget right there.
Not the soul budget. So true. So it's just like I can't afford that. My soul can't afford that.
Right. I'm not taking credit out on something that is not going to benefit my life.
100%. And so I think the people that are not honest with themselves or are not integral with their lives or with themselves is the people that like just put all this different junk in their basket.
They take other people's personalities and they're that person's got this personality trait. I need that. That person's got. But the minute that becomes uncool, let me put that
Let me put
back.
that
It's
back.
like flash sales. Like it's Black Friday for
Mm,
them every day on social
not
media
it's
and in real life.
the Black Friday people. Stay away from them. We don't like them.
Not at all.
Okay, so we kind of dove into a little bit about what is integrity, and I want to like segue into the next point, which is accountability, which is really the harder thing to talk about.
Right.
So because this is kind of a little bit of a difficult subject to talk about, I wanted to make it a little fun for us, Nick,
Ooh.
and I brought us here a little basket.
Oh, that is so cute.
We got some
What's in the
cute
basket?
stuff in here. Just
Are those
kidding,
the
it's
nuggets
just-
you were talking about?
These are my little nuggets. No, this is actually just a few questions that I have for
I
you.
love that.
And these are some questions about accountability. Let's just answer the questions. All right, pick one.
Ooh, I'm excited. Can you share a time where choosing integrity cost you something, but you still knew it was the right decision? So I think that's a very good question because that made me think. So I think a time where I had to choose integrity and it cost me is friends, honestly, because
Mm,
I think we've all gone through that stage of trying to find yourself and putting on other people's personalities like clothes and trying to see if they fit, and they don't, but we try to make them fit, try to squeeze into a 2 knowing we're a 6. But like, I'm a large, why am I putting this small tube top on? Like, that is not me. But trying to squeeze into other people's skins and clothes that's not us. A great example I can give is like, you make this watery group of friends and you all love each other, and then one person says this one bad thing. Well, now you don't want to be the outcast, so you're like, I need to say this bad thing. But then you realize it's like I got to a moment where I'm like, I had to be very integral, and I was like, this isn't true to myself, because when is it going to be my turn when I'm the talk of the town that day? That's not going to be good, and I know
That
I'm not
part.
going to like that feeling, just as these people aren't liking that feeling.
100%.
So
Yeah.
getting caught in the high school drama and stuff like that, it's like I had to put my foot down and made a decision, and I lost friends over that because I called them out and I told them I'm going to be integral, and
Yeah.
I'm going to start telling people of what you're saying about them, because that's not okay, because there is a difference between crap talking and telling the truth. So if you're just sitting there crap talking about somebody because you don't like what they did, or more so you're doing it because somebody else is doing it, that click followy behavior, yeah.
100%. And I think that also makes you a more confident person, to be honest.
Oh, it does. It makes you grow your personality, and not only that, it makes you you become stronger within your own beliefs. You
100%.
become your own person.
Yes, you become your own person, and as you're more authentic to yourself, you become a more confident person because you're like, oh, this is who I am, and I have it in me to stand up for myself and to
Right.
stand up for my values and my beliefs. So it makes you a more confident
It's
person.
also
Thank you.
important to tie into relationships.
100%. All right, let's do another one of these.
Have you ever had someone call you out and it actually helped you grow? What did it look like? Oof. So I feel like this is a good,
Loaded
important thing to
question.
talk about. That is a deep question. And I'll be very honest, I have nothing to hide. Cheating. I have cheated before in my past. It was a one-time thing. It was a very dumb decision I made. Young Nick would probably agree still because it was a dumb decision. But that at the beginning when I did it and got called out for it by both parties involved, it was like I'm going to deny it. Was not taking accountability at all. I was like, deny it, deny it, deny it. And then it was, I didn't know any better. And then finally it got to a point where I looked in the mirror and I was like, why am I hurting people? Like, I'm not only hurting people, I'm hurting myself. And I feel like that's such a tragic thing to do. But the important thing was that I realized that and I changed my decisions. I went back and I apologized. And one of them people I'm actually pretty, I would say, good friends with
Yeah.
today. I think that we talk sometimes, and I definitely helped me grow, like with the question asked, and what that looked like was just being more honest and integral to the people around me too. Because once you do that, it kind of makes all the other little lies that you were been saying meaningless, and you kind of just move on.
And I think like when you're able to own up your mistakes, you're also or own up to your mistakes, you're also able to look at yourself in the mirror and know that like what you see is the real deal.
Right.
When you're lying to other people, and we've kind of talked about this, but when you're lying to other people, you're also lying to yourself.
100%.
And like at the end of the day, like my mom would say, you can lie to everyone. You can spend all day, every day lying to people. But the moment that you lay down at night and you lay down your head on the pillow, you know who you are. Whether that
Exactly.
be someone you're proud of or someone that you hate.
I call that the invisible mirror because when you lay down, you see a reflection of yourself before you go to sleep. And you think about what you did that day, you think about what you did a couple weeks ago, and some of the bad stuff you do, you think about what you did years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
So I think it's
Can't run away from it.
exactly. It's going to catch back up to you. It's going to be the faster runner at the end of the marathon. So
100%. Wow, that's crazy. The faster runner snaps to that one. But you're so right for that. And I think when you stay honest with yourself and with other people, it helps you just have like that clean soul. There's a reason why we have an epidemic of people not being able to sleep at night, and that's the real reason. Just saying.
oof, call them out. Call them
Melatonin
out.
can only do so much.
Oh, period. It's true though. Listen to her. You want the real melatonin? Be a better person.
Oh, snaps.
Okay. I'm probably like crinkling this in y'all's ear. How do you call people? Can you help me hold that?
Yes.
How do you call people out in a way that is still approached with compassion and respect? You don't demean the character, you demean the behavior. And what I mean by that is that you don't attack the person, you don't necessarily attack the behavior, but you do nip that in the butt. A good example is people that around me that give off very hypocritical traits, like just not being very honest, again, not being very integral. But the worst thing than that is not taking the accountability for after that.
Yeah.
So how you have to approach those people is that screaming's not going to do anything. I can walk in and be like, you lied. That's all that's going to do is deep root them into their lie and deep root them and dig their heels into the ground of what they've built on all this lying. So that's all that's going to do is
make them more stubborn.
Exactly. It's not going to, you're just going to harden them.
Yeah.
And we heal and not harden.
Yeah.
So
True.
I did my research.
It's like I watched it.
But you have to approach them with compassion. And how you do that is that you sit down with them and be like, look, I've noticed this behavior. And you might have to change it on the person. There's some friends that I have where with them, I have to come up to them and be like, hey, we need to sit down, we need to talk. And then we talk it out, and it can last a very long time or it can be very short. Some people you have to be like, you just got to call them out. There's some people that need that. And I do have a best friend like that. And she's like, she knows that you just need to call her out. Hey, that behavior, what are we doing?
Yeah. And like one of the things that telling Nick yesterday, actually, that sometimes something that I've noticed, because I used to do that a lot. I used to like I almost like a holier than thou perspective. Like I would
Mhm.
try and like help people to keep them accountable, but in my I'm helping them, I was
Right.
hiding behind this really like it was like a self-righteous like holier than thou attitude of like I know better, this is what you need to do to be better kind
And
of
I
thing.
feel like that almost comes from a place of judgment in yourself, that
Yeah,
you're like, it comes internally, that you're just like, there's something going on in your personal life that you needed to address other people, but that was more like a projecting your insecurities from your own self
that
because you
part.
couldn't keep yourself
No, and
accountable.
you're right. When people are very judgmental, that's normally where it's coming from. It's
Hmm.
because they judge themselves more in the mirror. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I recognize that now. But what I'm trying to say is like I feel like I have learned that not everybody is the same. You can't give a carrot to a dog. Or I mean, my dog likes carrots, but you can't give a carrot to a bird. You
Right.
can't give a bone to um, what's it called, a bunny. Like each animal has their way of getting to them, of attracting them, right? So in the same way, if you're speaking to someone and you're trying to hold them accountable with love, you're not going to go and it's somebody that's like sensitive, you're not going to go and like scream at them and be like you're doing this and this and this and that's what I was doing.
Hmm.
Instead, you have to talk to them in like a softer tone and maybe be more sensitive. And it's not about dancing around their ego. That's what I used to say to myself too. It's about being kind and learning how to speak to people. It's a form of emotional
It's
intelligence.
honestly like a whole nother language. It's like
Yes.
adapting to their language, and you have to learn how to speak their language,
Yeah.
or they're not going to understand you. Or
100%.
worse than not understanding you, they're going to shut down and dig their heels into their lies
That
and
part.
stand firm on lies.
Yeah, and like we can hide behind that fact and be like, well, it's not my responsibility to like make other people not dig
Coddle
into.
people is the
Yeah,
biggest thing. People are like, I don't like coddling people.
but it's bigger than that because if we're trying to build a relationship with someone, it's like we're human beings. We're not perfect individuals, and sometimes it's not even coddling. It's just like it's learning how to get to people's hearts.
Right.
It's like it's a little path, and you have to learn. Like you could take the wrong turn sometimes, or you can try to force yourself in through this door that's just not
Exactly.
working.
Think of it like a little nature walk. You're gonna have to push the branches out of the way and maybe walk around the spider web. But some paths are just gonna be very like walking on the dirt path. You can see it right there, and you know you can get to it. Other ones you're gonna be watching out for roots sticking out of the ground and birds swooping down at you. So you just have
Yes.
to approach it. I mean, you can turn around and flee, or you can make that effort to find what's at the end of the path and maybe change somebody's life and behavior ultimately.
I love that. I love that so much. And we honestly hit every single point that I wanted to hit today. Like I love the way that you express accountability because you really like make it in a digestible way so that people can understand. Like you've taught me so much about how to take responsibility with my own life, but also how to hold other people accountable in a loving way. And so I thank you for that, Nick.
No
Really
problem. Thank you.
appreciate it.
You've taught me a lot too.
Oh,
This has honestly been a great little it's been a great little bonding time, and honestly, we're like each other's teachers and students right now. So I think this
100%.
has truly been such a great experience to have.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. And so, right before closing, if you could challenge the audience today, what is one practical way for someone listening that they can start practicing integrity and accountability this week? And by the way, I'm going to put this on Instagram, so y'all better watch out.
Go follow the Instagram.
100%.
If I could challenge you, the viewer, right now, I would say take accountability and be integral for the small things. In your life, it doesn't have to be a big change today. You misplace something, somebody approaches you about it, don't play the blame game and don't deny it. If you misplace something, just be like, yeah, I misplaced that. If you said a small white lie and got caught in it, admit fault. Take accountability for the small things now. That way, later down the road, when a big thing approaches, it's not as scary.
Oh, I love that so much. It's almost like creating like a habit on the small
Right.
things so that when the big things come along, they're not as scary, like you
You
said.
got to start exercising now to look good for the summer.
And it's hot girl summer coming up.
Right. It's
That
hot and integral summer. We're going to be honest.
we're gonna
Boosting
be on
egos, not lowering them.
facts. Okay, well, that is beautiful. I'm gonna be posting that on the Instagram, like I said, so watch for that, you guys. Next episode, we're going to be talking a little bit about rejection and failure.
Ooh.
So that's going to be a little bit of a tough cookie to digest, but we're going to make it easy and fun and digestible and probably find another cute and cozy place. This is my favorite coffee shop, by the way. Sippy sip.
Yes, yes. One last sippy sip.
One last sippy sip.
That was
Yum.
delicious.
So we're gonna find some cute and fun and comfortable places to film. So watch out for that next episode. Please remember to subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Follow and share. Share this video with your friends, with anybody that you are trying to help them be accountable or to be more honest in their life. And remember, we heal instead of harden. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.